Your steadfast love, O Lord, extends to the heavens, your faithfulness to the clouds. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains. Your judgments are like the great deep. You save humans and animals alike, O Lord. How precious is your steadfast love, O God. All people may take refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. O continue your steadfast love to those who know you, and your salvation to the upright of heart. Do not let the foot of the arrogant tread on me, or the hand of the wicked drive me away.
Greetings, beloved friends. Welcome to this, our very first devotional for Holy Week. Before we begin, I want to thank all of those at Discipleship Ministries, especially the Reverend Dr. Derek Weber, who provided this devotional for us. For the purposes of this devotional, we're going to go with traditional names for the days and assigning of events that seem to fit the names of each day. So today is Fig Monday, the cursing of the fig tree. Tomorrow will be Temple Tuesday, the cleansing of the temple. Now they both might have happened on the same day. Matthew says so, and so does Mark. They just put them in a different order. You see, the walk through Holy Week is not really designed to be a precise historical depiction of the events of that week. Instead, it is an opportunity to reflect on some of the major themes that resonate with us as we walk with Christ toward the cross and beyond. So Fig Monday, what was that all about? Well, to put it simply, Jesus was hungry. The incident is recorded in Matthew 21:18 through 22 and Mark 11:12 through 14. Matthew says he was hungry because he had just cleansed the temple. Mark, on the other hand, says he was hungry because he was about to cleanse the temple. Either way, the point is simple. He was hungry, and in his hunger, he saw a fig tree and thought that it might be a good idea. However, there weren't any figs on this particular tree. Now, Mark says it wasn't the season for figs, but despite that, Jesus curses the tree. "May no fruit ever come from you again," he declares in Matthew. And the next day, the tree was withered away to its roots. And it's hard not to feel sorry for this little tree. I mean, after all, it was only doing what it had always done. It seems a bit unfair on the part of Jesus to expect a fig tree to produce fruit out of season. Now, there are, of course, all sorts of ways that we can interpret the story. As a sign of the human side of Jesus taking control, as some kind of prophetic symbolism that really doesn't have anything to do with fig trees or hunger. Maybe it was a test for the disciples. Maybe it was a warning for the Pharisees, a description, if you will, of what he was about to do or had just done in the temple. Any of these thoughts may be useful interpretations, but perhaps a key to understanding the text, at least from Matthew and Mark's perspective, might be in a couple of very obscure phrases. In Mark 11:14, after Jesus pronounces the curse, Mark writes, "And his disciples heard it." Matthew says a tree withered away immediately after the curse instead of the next day, as Mark records. But Matthew writes, when the disciples saw it, they were amazed or astounded. They didn't know what it meant either, but they heard him and they saw what he did. They were paying attention. Maybe that's the key, friends. To pay attention. To pay attention even when you don't know what's going on. To keep watching, to keep following, to keep believing in him. Matthew says that while Jesus didn't explain about the fig tree, he did use the occasion to tell his disciples to continue believing, to believe that he does have the very words of life, to stand with the psalmist that we heard earlier, and trust that this is the source of all good things. The abundance of life itself is found in him. Friends, that's a word that we need as we begin this journey of Holy Week. And I think it's a word that we need right now in this moment. There's no way to make it through the agony of Holy Week or the current circumstances that we are all facing without clinging to belief, without laying claim to hope, the hope that this one is the one that we seek, trusting that this is the one who will give us what we need. And so that is my prayer for you, friends. Cling to the love of your Savior, for he will never leave you. Remember the words of the great 19th century hymn, "Oh, how I love Jesus." It reads, "There is a name I love to hear. I love to sing its worth. It sounds like music in my ear, the sweetest name on earth. It tells me of a Savior's love, who died and set me free, who tells me of his precious blood, the sinner's perfect plea. It tells of the one whose loving heart can feel my deepest woe, who in each sorrow bears a part that none can bear below. Oh, how I love Jesus. How I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus, because he first loved me." Blessings upon all of you, friends. We'll see you tomorrow.